You're listening to the Inner Goddess Rising podcast. My name is Ann Sison, and I'm here to help you kick your inner mean girl to the curb so you can attract the life you desire. Hello, goddesses. My name is Ann Sison, and I am a confidence and empowerment coach. My mission is to help every woman to conquer that inner mean girl voice so you can confidently attract the life of your dreams. We teach others what we most want to learn or what we have learned. I was not always confident. Oh my goodness, you guys. I had confidence when I was little. I would stand on top of snowbanks and sing for the neighborhood. I would put shows on for my parents, pretending the living room curtains were my backstage. But somewhere along the way, my bubbly personality fizzled. Confidence was replaced with critical thoughts. Sound familiar? Why does this happen, right? Life happens. Mean kids happen to us. There's bullies out there. There are so many reasons that I can't even fathom some of them. What happens is these events that happen, they cause us pain, and then the pain sits with us. They cause limiting beliefs that keep coming up in our heads. Some of the limiting beliefs I used to have, and sometimes still creep in, are I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough for that. I never finish anything I start. I don't have the right body to wear that swimsuit. I would look terrible on a beach. I'm not athletic and I suck at sports. My nose is too big. You guys, I was positive everyone was always staring at my nose to the point that I would be frozen to a chair in a room full of people. Wouldn't even get up to go sharpen a pencil to go talk to a teacher if it meant letting anyone see my profile. The reason? All because some girl in middle school said my profile project that we had to put up on the wall for everybody to see looked like a silhouette of George Washington. It was literally just the way my hair was in a ponytail that day. I had weird curls, and my nose appeared big. So guess what? George Washington I was. My nose became something I wanted to hide forever. But you can remember, if you think back, where some of these beliefs even started. So I just want to say, kids are mean, man. And as kids, some of us don't even possess the resiliency to let that stuff roll off and not be affected by it, right? The voices might not even be your voice. It could sound like your voice now, but I'm betting that somewhere back in your lifetime, someone else said something that led you to carry their voice within you, and then it slowly became your own. Why do we do this to ourselves? It happens because your brain's job is to keep you safe. Your brain does not want you to repeat anything that will allow you to feel the same painful experience that you once felt ever again. That's why you are being protected. That is what also keeps you stuck. I believe that we have many, many different personas within us that make up who we are. And I just covered the inner critic here today. Inner mean girl, inner critic. A lot of what I want to talk about in this podcast is going to be about shutting up that inner critic. The mean girl voice is a bitch, right? Would you talk to your best friend that way? Your daughter? Your mother? Can you imagine if we all walked around telling one another even half of what we tell ourselves? What a horrible world this would be, wouldn't it? If you change the way you talk to yourself, you could well be on your way of changing the trajectory of your entire life. Confidence is all mindset. Other aspects of what I believe make up your personality are the inner child, which is that part of you who wants to be loved and protected and heard and can feel scared and lonely. Then there's the inner guide, the part of you who is like a loving parent who knows what's best for you. If you just listen, your inner guide knows what's best for you. But like a parent whose teenager just won't listen, your guide throws up her hands and says, I'll just have to watch you make your own mistakes until you're ready to ask for my help. They painfully stand by and watch, just waiting for us to ask. It isn't until we're well into adulthood that we finally realize our parents were right. I know for me it was when I had my own daughter. I remember making a call to my mom and saying how sorry I was for not listening to her, and she was right on so many levels. Then there's the social self. This is the side of you that you portray to the world, and I kind of like to call this one the inner teenager. Kind of rebels against what you feel you even are inside of you. This is where your authenticity can fly by the wayside and go into hiding because you are afraid of how you might show up in the world. If this side of you isn't in alignment with who you truly are, you're setting yourself up to have negative thoughts and feelings and ultimately failure. Why can it lead to failure? Because when you care so much about what the world thinks of you, what parts of you are you hiding? And to me, hiding parts of myself feels like I'm shoving myself into a tiny box that someone else wants me to fit into. Imagine that for a second. Imagine a teeny tiny box, and then imagine taking all of the beautiful parts of what make you you and stuffing yourself into this box just because someone tells you it will make you more likable. What? How does that feel? You might be okay in there for a little bit, but what happens when you want to shift your position? You're stuck. It doesn't feel good or comfortable to be hidden away, right? It's like wearing a pair of shoes that is too small just to impress people at a party. You can only stand in them for so long before you want to die. I know it can't be just me who feels that way about shoes. Freaking hate high heels. That's my personality. I'm not going to wear them just to look good unless it's only for maybe 10 minutes. Then those babies are going on the floor in the corner. How about wearing a dress when you hate dresses? Or not speaking what your true beliefs are just so people won't shun you for being different? Or wanting a tattoo really bad but not getting the tattoo because you're afraid you won't get hired? Who wants to work for a company that puts what you look like over how you perform? I don't want to live in a world like that. Over the course of this podcast, I want to talk about all of these personas we have and how they might show up in your life in different ways that contribute to the horrible voice that keeps you awake at night. What does your inner critic voice say to you when you just wish you could lay your head down on your pillow and sink into a gentle sleep? When you can bring all of these personas into alignment to work together, that's a recipe that will help your inner goddess to start rising into her own powerful, confident self. Who doesn't want that? Your inner goddess wants to be seen, be heard, and be loved, not just by everyone around you, but by you too. Some topics this podcast is going to cover are self-love, authenticity, inner peace, shadow work, boundaries, goals and dreams, rituals and habits, and I also love to talk about yoga philosophy and the chakra system. Journal around what your inner voice says to you, and also try to think as far back as you can to when the belief was first formed. What was going on in your life? What were you feeling? What do you think was the cause of that first time you heard that voice speak to you? And whose voice was it? Oh, by the way, I made up a meditation for you all so you can meet your inner goddess. You'll go in, you'll meet her, you can ask her anything you want. This is your future self. You can speak to your future self, and she can tell you all the things she thinks you need to know. For the free download, click the link in the show notes. Please join me in my Facebook group, also called Inner Goddess Rising. I would love to see you there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to talking to you next week.